Knock, knock, knock.
Hello?
Hi, have you heard the good word about Muhammad Ali's holy crusade against tooth decay?
No.
Well, why don't you take this handy literature? The Adventures of Ali and His Gang versus Tooth Decay.
Oh, boy!
I don't want to see an ordinary film. I want to see something extraordinary.
Your sacrifice completes my sanctuary of 1,000 testicles.
Do you ever feel as if your mind had started to erode?
Let's rock indeed. Welcome to 1000 Wives of Weird, a podcast about weird films. Although today, we're branching out again.
We're branching out.
We're talking about a 36-minute novelty album released in 1976, starring Muhammad Ali, called the Ali and His Gang versus Tooth Decay.
Is The Adventures of Muhammad Ali and His Gang versus Tooth Decay.
Well, they never say Muhammad. They
Oh.
pointedly never. They always call him Ali. They
yeah,
might say
well,
his full name, but
I'm going by the description on the box.
no, the description is Ali and His Gang.
Oh, okay, but it still says The Adventures of.
The Adventures of Ali and His Gang
Yeah.
versus Mr. Tooth Decay.
Yes. Is this the most esoteric thing we've ever talked about?
Oh, absolutely. I was trying to do research about this to find out
Yeah, I was too.
why,
Right.
how
yeah.
this came about, and I could not find anything. But I think when Muhammad Ali died, a few people dug this
up.
out to write
Yeah.
some articles about it.
Sure.
Um,
Well, Muhammad Ali, it's a little bit hard to understand for maybe our generation and especially people younger than us. But there is a point in time in this country where Muhammad Ali was Superman. Like, he was the guy.
Oh, yeah.
He was like... There are no celebrities today that match his level of like cult leader status.
Yes.
Like he was huge. He had a comic book where he and Superman literally fought, and it was one of the biggest comics of the day. It was rivaling the issue where Superman and Spider-Man fought.
what?
Oh, you didn't hear about this?
No.
Around the same time that Muhammad Ali and Superman fought, there was also a comic where Marvel and DC, because back in the day, they weren't corporations, they were just companies.
Yeah.
And they just were fans of each other because they were just a bunch of artists, and they were like, hey, why don't we put profit aside and just have a fun little company rivalry moment where we have Spider-Man and Superman fight for a minute and then team up to stop a team-up between Lex Luthor and Dr. Octopus.
But, and I get that they chose Spider-Man and Superman because they were the most popular titles from both houses.
That's why.
But that's still a weird fight. You'd think it'd be like
It's a very
Thor
weird
versus
fight.
Superman, or
I think they end up doing something where Superman gets depowered somewhat, or
okay.
Spider-Man gets extra power to keep it on a more even keel. But yeah, years later on, they ended up doing a whole bunch more crossovers where I believe the one Superman fought during that time was the Hulk,
Okay.
which is a much more stable match.
yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah, but no, they just did it because it was the first time and they wanted to put their best foot forward. So for DC, that was Superman, because the Christopher Reeve movies had just come out. And for Marvel, that was Spider-Man, because he's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
He's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But yeah, Muhammad Ali was everything. And so I guess, my best guess as to the backstory of this is that the American Dental Association was like, you know who we should get to fight tooth decay? The hero of America, Muhammad Ali.
And if you are uncertain who Muhammad Ali is, which
Yeah.
is possible,
He stings like a
he floats like a butterfly
and floats like a bee.
Floats like a butterfly and stings like a bee.
Yeah, that's what I said.
No.
Yeah,
No, it's not.
that's exactly what I said.
It's 100% not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Agree, disagree.
Yeah, sure. Bygones be bygones. Muhammad Ali is probably the most famous boxer of all time.
Yeah. And I think maybe he was probably America's first Muslim superstar, or am I overstating that?
I would assume that's correct.
Definitely the first person in America to have such an obviously Muslim name
Yes.
and be popular.
He was born Cassius Clay, and
Yeah,
then
that's right. I forgot about that.
in 1961 he converted to Islam. Was a world heavyweight champion. He protested the Vietnam War very famously.
Yes, he did. A lot of people are still angry with him about that to this day.
Which is, I don't know. I really admire the man.
Oh, absolutely.
He was known for his very braggadocious personality. He proclaimed that he was the greatest.
Yeah.
He released an album called I Am the Greatest.
Yes. He used to rhyme a lot in his promos and stuff like that for his fights.
Yes.
That's what the whole the butterfly and bee thing that we were just referencing. He used to come up with a lot of those, like, so basically he invented the Chuck Norris joke about himself.
Yeah, and we hear a bunch of that in this
album. Yeah.
But yeah, he would sort of do like a kind of Rudy Ray Moore proto-rap thing.
Oh, yeah. That's a great way of... Rudy Ray Moore, that's a great way of describing it.
He's known for its fights with Joe Frazier and George Foreman.
Both of which get referenced in this record.
So he was a huge boxer.
Yeah.
And The Adventures of Ollie and His Gang versus Mr. Tooth Decay came out in 1976.
Yes.
And this was just 2 years after the Rumble in the Jungle with George Foreman.
Okay.
So he was, like, on top of the world.
Oh, yeah. Clearly, the only place you can get away with doing something this stupid is being on top of the world.
And around the same time, Muhammad Ali also had a cartoon show.
Did he?
Yes.
Oh.
And
I don't know how to feel about that.
There's a bunch of it on YouTube, but I didn't have time to watch any.
Sure.
But that might be something we want to look at later, because...
Maybe. I know Mr. T had a cartoon in the 80s.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any of that either.
And he also had a couple PSA-type videos.
Mr. T?
Yeah.
Oh, he had all the PSA-type videos.
Mm-hmm.
Look up the Respect Your Mama rap from Mr. T if you want to know how this could have ended up. Honestly, compared to that, this actually comes off as pretty professional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Ali had... Well, I don't know.
Ali has a little bit more... musicality in the way he talks and rhymes than Mr. T. Mr. T just, like, barks like a dog whenever he rhymes. Treat her right! It's bad. But Muhammad Ali actually has a pretty musical voice, actually.
Yeah.
He's got, like, a little bit of a smoky thing going.
He's not a good voice actor.
Oh, not at all.
But, the enthusiasm is there.
The enthusiasm is there. They put him up against a lot of little children who are way worse than he is.
Who constantly speak in unison.
They put him in the studio with the Children of the Corn, and he comes off as better than them.
Like I said, this is only 36 minutes long.
Yeah.
You can find it on YouTube. Mm-hmm. Would you say it's worth listening to? Is it worth 36 minutes?
Wow. I will admit that towards the end of this, I started counting the minutes until it was over, because at a certain point, the gag did get a little bit old.
Yeah.
But overall, this is absolutely worth it.
I would agree.
I think this is absolutely worth it. This is such an odd time capsule.
Yes.
Of a very specific time in history.
And I want to find more of this sort of ephemera. This sort of just like... the detritus of pop culture.
Right, yeah. I think this is around the same time that Sesame Street got started, isn't that right?
I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure it is. I think that it was in the 70s when Sesame Street got started. So this is a part of that. This would be a part of that same kind of, like, movement towards, let's make entertainment to educate kids, teach them about brushing your teeth or the alphabet and stuff like that. I think the Electric Company started towards the end of the 70s as well.
I think, no, Electric Company was on around this time, I believe.
Okay, so there you go. And it's this thing that's so bizarre, and it's so strange, and yet it's so undeniably wholesome.
Oh, yeah.
It's almost adorable.
It's adorable and baffling.
Yeah. And just like... It's simultaneously something that... It's someone who was very high, who didn't want kids to grow up to be high, writing this.
Yeah, I guess. I
don't know. It's so bizarre. It's so indelibly 70s.
Well, here's the thing that because I can't... What I wanted to find out was, did somebody come to Muhammad Ali and was like, hey, champ, you should do something for the children.
Right.
Why don't you warn them about the dangers of tooth decay?
Right.
And Muhammad Ali's like, you're right. Or was it Muhammad Ali on the road to Damascus, struck by a lightning bolt from the Lord?
The scales fell from his teeth.
The scales fell, the plaque fell from his teeth, and he was like, my God, the children's mouths are in danger.
I have to warn them about Willie Plaque and Sugar Cuba.
I need to murder the entity known as Mr. Tooth Decay.
Who is apparently from Russia, Germany.
He's some sort of Eastern European ethnic.
Russia-many. Yeah, no, oh my god. I
also want to mention, in case you're not sold on this yet,
yeah,
this also features Frank Sinatra and
Somewhere.
Ossie Davis.
Where was Frank? I know
You couldn't tell?
I couldn't tell who he was.
All right, I'll point it out when we get there.
Okay, good, because I had no idea.
You were not listening closely enough because they make it very obvious.
Okay. I will admit I was confused through most of this.
Okay.
I think I know where Ossie Davis was, but like most of this was like I was just I couldn't understand the kids half the time.
The kids were hard again. They're speaking in unison constantly.
A lot of times I couldn't understand the adults. They put these weird filters on all the bad guys.
Yeah.
This is also another thing. I feel like this must have been a movement in the 70s because I keep finding this shit. So old radio, classic old radio dramas continued up until the early 60s. And then they died around that time. And there were consistent attempts throughout the 70s and 80s to bring it back in some way. And in the 70s, I think there was a real push at creating story records for children. Because not only have I heard this now, but when I was a kid, my parents had old records from when they were kids in the 70s for this company called Peter Pan Records.
Okay.
Who would do stories about Batman, who had a really thick Brooklyn accent for some reason, and Wonder Woman and the Flash and all
Hey,
this
you
other
fucking
stuff.
Joker! What the fuck are you doing?
Pretty much, yeah. No, they would do the roll call for the Justice League, and Batman was always last and say, "And Batman here." Like
Hey, what the fuck do you want?
Like Joe Pesci. Like it was so bizarre. So I feel like there must have been a big push in the 70s to create radio dramas for kids, and apparently none of them knew how to do them because they are all crap.
Yes. But like I was saying, I just wonder if where did the idea originate from? Was Muhammad Ali like, I want to do something for the kids? I'm such a role model. I need to reach out to the kids.
Right? Did it start with him or did it start with the American Dental Association?
This was approved by the American Dental Association.
Oh,
so
yeah,
this
yeah.
is an official thing.
Yeah, but did he approach them or did they approach him? That's a good question.
I wish I knew. I wish I
Yeah.
could find that answer. I hope it was him. I hope this was just 100%.
It's like Elvis barreling into Nixon's office demanding to be a federal agent. It's just Muhammad Ali busts down the door. He says, "We gotta make a record about how cool I am. I'm gonna carry a giant toothbrush. I'm gonna kill tooth decay."
So we're going to start walking through the record now. Also, Billy,
Yes.
I found this old computer game from the 80s.
You find the weirdest shit.
Yeah, I do. And I brought in this Commodore 64.
Great.
To run it. It's on 64 floppy disks.
Oh, wonderful. This is not going to get old anytime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's called Muhammad Ali's Glorious Jihad Against the Enemies of the Teeth.
I'm not sure if that's the most offensive thing you've ever said. But it gets closer every day.
Let me tell you something.
Okay.
While I was taking my notes, I used the word jihad a lot. And then the next day I was thinking back and I was like, maybe that's not the best word to use. Because when I was doing it, I was like just thinking about other words for like crusade, like
right. Yeah.
And I was thinking of it like in the Dune. Whenever I would think of it, I would think of the Dune Butlerian jihad.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, yeah, that word from Dune.
You didn't think about the Muslim connotation.
Yeah, no.
Holy shit.
But there was an alternate title
Okay.
to the game, which I also brought.
Okay.
Let's throw away the old one. And this one's just called Ollie and the Gang on the Road to Knock Out Tooth Decay.
Oh, that's much cuter.
And it's like an Oregon Trail type game
Okay.
where you are carving a path across the country, seeking the godless heathen, Mr. Tooth Decay.
Can't wait.
Recruiting more children.
Of
and
course.
talking to more tall, elderly black men. And you have control of 4 children.
Uh-huh.
And you have to try to make sure at least one of them gets to Mr. Tooth Decay's Palace of Sin. So you can burn it to the ground and put his head on a pike.
Well, I can't wait to play this game. This sounds like the best thing since Custer's Revenge.
Yeah. Okay, so what do you want to name the 4 kids?
Let's name them Joey, Bobby, HP, and Stan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Joey, Bobby, HP, and Stan.
Right.
All right. So Muhammad Ali is gathering up the children, and he's starting in Philadelphia, or he's starting wherever the fucking Liberty Bell is.
That's Philadelphia.
He wanted to go back and remember the time he may or may not have put a crack in the Liberty Bell.
Exactly, yeah.
So he's trekking out. You guys have some food. You have some wagon wheels.
Interesting, okay.
Your transportation is mostly horses and wagons. Like a true crusade.
Like a true... Well, we don't want to hurt the environment with our carbon emissions. So instead we're going to hurt the environment with our horse shit.
So a couple days are passing. Uh-oh, Muhammad Ali wants to stop for some reason.
Oh, okay.
Ali gathers the children around, and what's he saying? He's saying, I'm worried about the horse's teeth. We need to brush these horses' teeth.
Oh.
Do you want to agree with Muhammad Ali that these horses need their teeth brushed?
Well, of course, Muhammad Ali, he's the people's champion. He knows what's up.
Who do you want to send to brush the horse's teeth?
Let's send Bobby.
Oh no, Bobby's hands were bitten off by the horses. And Muhammad Ali doesn't really seem that concerned. He picks up one of Bobby's severed hands that still clutches the toothbrush and brushes the horse's teeth himself with that.
He probably should have done that to begin with.
I mean, if you want something done right. So are you gonna take poor handless Bobby with you, or are you gonna leave him by the side of the road to die?
I think we should take him with us.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a couple more days pass, and you come across a rotting buffalo carcass.
Oh God.
The eastern United States, known for their buffalo.
Where are we going? Where are we right now?
You're going to San Francisco, California. That's where Mr. Tooth Decay is.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Now, do you want to harvest the buffalo for its meat?
No, it's rotten.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Bobby's not doing too well.
That's too bad.
Bobby has a fever. His arms are turning black.
Oh, God.
You didn't administer any medical care to him.
Why didn't I?
I don't know.
We should get him to a hospital.
I mean, maybe Muhammad Ali should be taking charge, given that he's an adult.
Yeah,
and you're all children.
Probably should. All
right, so you want to go to a hospital?
If that's an option in this game.
Well, the old Sawbones in town in Columbus, Ohio.
The Sawbones.
The old Sawbones.
Oh, God.
With his shingle out. He wants $250 to kill Bobby's arm poisoning.
Well, for God's sake, Muhammad Ali's a millionaire. He can pay that.
You guys only have $300.
Oh, bullshit.
You only have $300.
Bullshit. Come on. Okay, well, I guess I have to pay for it because I don't want Bobby to die.
Okay. Well, we'll leave it off there with Bobby's arm poisoning being cured. And you guys with only $50.
Muhammad Ali is not a very good benefactor for this quest.
No. I mean, he's the visionary. He's the prophet.
He's the prophet.
Oh my God. He's the madman who has the vision. You can't rely on him. He's a
billionaire.
He's not the infrastructure guy. He's not the...
Oh my God. Whatever. All right, let's talk about...
John the Baptist couldn't be a CEO, and you know it.
I know he couldn't, but Muhammad Ali is Muhammad Ali. He's got more money than John the Baptist, probably. I don't know how much money John the Baptist had. Now that I think about it. Although he did eat crickets with honey, so probably not a lot.
Well, how expensive were crickets?
I assumed that he just found them around and ate them.
Well...
But I don't actually know. Maybe he went to the cricket market.
I'm sure he did. It's like, I'm too busy baptizing people to catch my own crickets, like...
Yeah, I gotta go get them by the bag full.
I'll pay a little bit.
Do you have any honey crickets today?
Well, they don't sell them pre-honeyed, because then they'd stick to the bag.
Here, it's like Lunchables. We give you a sack of crickets and a sack of honey, and you have to put them together.
Yep. The record starts off with Muhammad Ali's theme song,
Which is simultaneously the best and possibly the most confusing song on the album.
oh my god, it's definitely the best.
It's definitely the best.
But
It's also like, what am I listening to?
yeah, the theme song, it consists of Muhammad Ali asking who was responsible for various events during the Revolutionary War and only the Revolutionary War, such as who put the crack in the Liberty Bell?
Ali.
And then the chorus will come in and say Ali.
Yeah.
Or who did the ride of Paul Revere? Which seems like the
That would be
question.
Paul
The
Revere.
answer's in the question.
Yeah.
Nope.
Nope.
Ali.
Ali.
And who's responsible for the Boston Tea Party?
Ali.
But then during the chorus, we're told Ali's always getting blamed for things he didn't do.
But
Just because he likes to scrap and maybe sometimes do.
So this triumphant theme song that is written in the style of like the Rocky theme and stuff
Yeah.
like that, like it really pumps you up if you just listen to the music.
Yeah.
If you only listen to the music.
If you listen to
Ali, it gets you moving. But then the lyrics, instead of being like the Shaft theme, who's the bad motherfucker, it just talk about Shaft.
it's just this Rashomon song
It's
about
just
the
a song
Revolutionary War.
About the Revolutionary War, and it points out Ollie wasn't even there.
Yeah.
Like one of the lyrics just say Ollie wasn't there. If you actually look into this shit, you'll see that other people were responsible for this stuff. But Ollie keeps getting blamed for it, and we're here to set the record straight. But all of these things are like stuff that generally in America we consider to be good things.
Yeah.
Like the crack in the Liberty Bell, we're weirdly proud of.
It's like a cultural thing.
The Midnight Ride of Paul Revere never happened, but it's like a cultural touchstone
Yeah, so I think
of our history. The Boston Tea Party is like one of the main big rebellious woo motherfucker America type things, and all of this stuff is just like, hey, don't bring this on Muhammad Ali, even though again he's the guy in the verses who's bringing this stuff on him.
it's like
He's oh my god.
he's like Donald Trump in that
I was just about to say that.
he'll say something and then other people have to go in and be like, that's not what he means.
That's not what he means. It's not what he was sarcastic. It's a joke. What, he can't tell a joke? He can't tell a joke? What's wrong with you?
Well, and then the chorus ends with lines about, if you look closer at the events, maybe the blame can be shared. So it sounds like maybe, if we can't clear Ali entirely, there were others there.
There were at least other people. Let's put the right perspective on this. Other people contributed to these events, okay? Let's not blame Ali entirely for these things. Come on.
Do you think there were cut verses from Ali's theme song that were like,
absolutely.
who incited the British to fire at the Boston Massacre? Ali. Who threw the rocks? Very first.
Who was the one to cast the first stone? Ali. No, that's a Christian reference. He wouldn't do that. Yeah, it's okay. So this was something we were actually able to find out. The reason why there are so many Revolutionary War references is because I guess they found out at some point that this record was being released around the same time as the bicentennial.
Oh, that's right. It was 76.
Yeah, the celebration of the formation of America. So they added all this stuff in to celebrate that in the middle of their Tooth Decay PSA
well, I
record
thought this
for
song
kids.
was previously on something else, or
Was it?
used in something else.
I don't know, but it is played at least 3 times during
It's
this.
played twice.
Oh, and I think it's played 3 times because it's played once at the beginning. It's played once in the middle when they start on their quest. It fades out before it plays the whole thing, and then they play it over the credits.
I must have tuned out before the credits.
Okay. But yeah, but it's and you get excited whenever it comes on because it's so good.
It's a great tune.
It's a great tune, but the lyrics are just bizarre. It's just so odd.
Do you think Muhammad Ali should have been in Hamilton? because he was an integral
He
part.
didn't do any of those things, though. If you look into it, there's enough blame to spread around.
I mean, every legend
wasn't even there.
Every legend has a grain of truth.
This is why Hamilton is secretly racist, because they didn't spend enough time talking about the great achievements of Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
In the Revolutionary War. Oh my God. Yeah, no. Of course Muhammad Ali should be in Hamilton. I after listening to this record, I'm convinced Muhammad Ali should be in everything. Muhammad Ali should have been in Star Wars. Just as himself, not as a character. I don't want him to play Han Solo or anything. I want Han Solo and Luke, and then they're like, "What? How can we escape the Death Star? Muhammad Ali, what do you think?" And he hasn't been in the movie up until that point, and the camera zooms over to him and he's like, "I got you," and he punches the wall out, and they go through. "Thanks, Muhammad Ali. Don't mention it. Save the princess."
I was gonna say instead of Obi-Wan Kenobi, it could just be Muhammad Ali.
Oh my God, that'd be great too.
Help me, champ. You're my only hope.
Now that's a name I've not heard in a long time.
Cassius Clay.
Cassius Clay. Hey, do you know him? Well, of course I know him. It's me. Here, it was me. Here, eat your vegetables.
This is narrated by the famous sports announcer from the 60s, 70s, what have you, Howard Cosell.
Howard Cosell,
With a very distinct voice.
Well, always remember, I've never heard Howard Cosell before now.
Okay.
But I always remember Howard Cosell because of one of my favorite movies of all time, Better Off Dead. There are two foreign exchange students who learn English by listening to Howard Cosell.
Okay.
And the John Cusack turns to the camera at one point because he's in between them who are saying everything like this and his girlfriend who can't speak English at all. And he's like, "So you tell me which is worse, not being able to speak English or only being able to speak Howard Cosell?" So that's all I know about Howard Cosell until I heard this record.
And Howard Cosell and Muhammad Ali were bosom buddies.
Oh, were they really?
Yeah. So it starts off, after the theme song fades, the gang is having a meeting presided over by Donnie.
Now, this is apparently not Muhammad Ali's gang yet.
No.
This is just the gang.
This is just the gang. They haven't been given their purpose yet.
They haven't been given... Apparently, they do the same thing every year.
Yes.
It's for summer.
But Donnie wants to do something different this summer.
Yeah.
The rest of the kids point out that he says that every summer.
And then they end up doing the same thing anyway.
And in one of my favorite lines, one of the kids asks, "What else can you do in the summer besides swimming, hanging out in the woods, and making blueberry pie?"
This is like some 50-year-old writer who's like, "What the fuck do kids do in the summer again?" I guess it's not the Great Depression anymore, so they're not working in the factories. I guess they just swimming, maybe. I guess just like hanging out in the woods
and making fresh blueberry pies.
I hope they're making blueberry pies. It's just about my lunch break. Holy shit! It took me 4 hours to write that first song.
And like we said, the voice actors for the children are not good.
Oh, they're awful.
So,
but even in that, there's a bit of joy and positivity to get, because the reason why they're terrible is because they're just kids.
Yeah,
they're clearly just kids they got off the street.
Yeah,
they're not kids that have been groomed by some parents. By some evil parents in a fucking corporation somewhere like you always get in commercials nowadays. They're just fucking street urchins that they gathered into their studio and fed them a couple sandwiches and let them yell into their microphones.
Yeah. Outside the clubhouse, Tooth Decay and his sidekick Sugar Cuber are skulking around.
Is it Cuber or Cuba?
Sugar Cuber.
Okay, I thought it was Cuba, like Cuba Gooding Jr.
No.
Okay.
He could play him in the reboot.
The $40 million gritty reboot.
They should stop making Muhammad Ali biopics and adapt this.
Get Will Smith back to play him again.
Tooth Decay is some sort of Eastern European ethnic sounding man.
Yeah, he keeps going back and forth between Russian and German for me, but no idea.
And Sugar Cuber is like a dictaphone recording of a jive talking robot.
Yeah.
I couldn't figure out what his voice was supposed to be.
He just sounds like a guy. He's just a guy with like a dime store, not even a dollar store, a dime store voice changer that you pick up to tell your kid to shut up.
Ali meets two children. Muhammad Ali runs onto the scene and he meets two children.
And wait, first they say, "Who's that guy running around with a giant toothbrush?" Oh, it's the America's champion, Ali. So Ali, just imagine Ali running around, and I imagine he's wearing his boxing gloves
that's
shorts the entire time.
That's how I pictured him the entire time.
Yeah,
is
just like barely holding on to this gigantic, this comically large toothbrush, running around looking for Mr. Tooth Decay. It is... That image alone is in my head forever, and that makes the entire record worth it.
I imagine, like, every time Muhammad Ali tries to open a door with his boxing gloves, he, like, fumbles with it for, like, a few minutes, and then he just, like, motions for one of the kids to, like...
He has to prop the toothbrush against the wall next to the door, and he's just, like, with both gloves trying desperately to work the latch.
And every time he enters the room, he's pumping his arms in the air.
Yeah! He's just jumping up and down, and his music plays every time, of course.
The children immediately begin to praise Ali.
Oh, immediately, yeah, because they're all... Which, of course, is realistic.
It is.
At this point in American history.
It is, but the adoration that these children show for Muhammad Ali is a little over the top.
Sure.
You're right, children probably would react like this, but because this is a script...
Oh, yeah.
And it's tailored for Muhammad Ali's ego.
Yeah.
It's a little striking.
Sure.
The kids run off to tell their friends, and Ali, like a fucking creep, asks if he can go with them.
Yeah, he's like, can I join your gang?
Yeah.
I want to help out.
I need to murder this Tooth Decay man, but let me see what you kids are up to.
I made the comment Ali's voice is beautiful to listen to.
It is.
He's just got a beautiful voice. I will say there's this weird thing where, with the exception of his theme song, where Ali is clearly super into that song, with every other bit of dialogue versus song things, you can tell there's a difference in the sound of his attitude in the recording.
Yes.
So when he's doing his dialogue, he is into it.
There's
he is pumped up.
Very earnest.
Very earnest. He's not the best actor, but he is playing himself and he's doing it fine.
He believes in his holy quest.
In his holy quest against Tooth Decay. But every once in a while, and in fact just in a couple of minutes here, it cuts over to a song sequence. And in the song sequence you can tell those recordings were done at a different time. And he is suddenly way more tired.
Yes.
Just everything is way more low energy. It's at the end of a long day. Maybe he just got back from a press tour. Maybe it's on a different day. Maybe it's all the same day and this is just the last thing they recorded.
Maybe he didn't like the script.
Maybe he didn't like the song, but like dialogue, super pumped. The song comes on, oh god.
Yeah. The kids take Ali to the clubhouse.
Yes.
Where in unison, the kids announce how big and handsome Muhammad Ali is.
Yes. And also in the background, we randomly hear a bunch of chickens clucking.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
I noticed that because I was like, aren't we in their clubhouse? Why are there so many goddamn chickens in
That's
this clubhouse?
called foreshadowing. Muhammad Ali Muhammad Ali is using subtle audio cues.
Oh, like he was the director of this.
Well... Yeah, no, he was the visionary. I believe it more and more that this was Muhammad Ali.
I don't believe that for a second.
Muhammad Ali Tooth Auteur. Ali announces he's trained to fight Mr. Tooth Decay and Sugar Cuber.
Yes.
The kids beg Ali to help kill these men.
Well, the kids want in on it. They want to train to fight Sugar Cuber and Tooth Decay too.
They are joining Muhammad Ali's holy crusade.
Yes.
To kill the concept of Tooth Decay.
The concept of Tooth Decay in persona.
Which I believe...
He's one of the Eternals from the Sandman comics.
True.
Yeah.
So that's why I believe even if Muhammad Ali were to punch this man to death,
yes,
he would just reincarnate in some other form.
Of course, yeah.
So that's why Muhammad Ali was around during the Revolutionary Wars, because this is an eternal battle. This has been going on since the dawn of time.
Imagine if in the Sandman comics, in Preludes and Nocturnes, instead of trying to get death and accidentally getting Dream, they tried to get death and accidentally got Tooth Decay. And they just had this weird green Eastern... There's some album art, I should mention.
Yeah, where...
on the YouTube video where it shows Tooth Decay and he looks like a little green man with a mustache and a purple robe.
Yeah.
And so you just have this green man with a purple robe inside this, like, summoning circle.
Let me out! I need to rot teeth!
And instead of having a bunch of weird dream diseases, everyone just has really good dental health for the next, like, 50 to 100 years, or however long he was captured there.
And then Muhammad Ali finally finds him in the basement after he's knocked out the elderly occultist.
Exactly.
And he's like, I know it's better if you're in here, but I was made to fight you.
I was made to fight you. It's my quest. And then he ends up breaking the circle by accident. The guy breaks out, and instead of eternal waking, the bad guy gets just eternally decaying teeth. Which he's so old anyway. It's already too late. But you know, it's the thought that counts.
Exactly.
That whole segment did not make any sense if you haven't read Sandman. So
go read Sandman.
This is my plug for Sandman.
Well, you haven't even read Sandman.
I've read Preludes and Nocturnes.
You've read 1 out of 10.
Well, Preludes and Nocturnes has my stamp of approval. It's a very good book.
The entire series is tremendous.
Yeah.
And the kids say, this will be our summer project. Mm-hmm. But Ali tells them, this is a lifelong battle. Mm-hmm. He says,
I wish it was as easy as a summer project, kids.
This is the forever war.
This is the forever war. This Tooth Decay is the real Satan.
I feel like Muhammad Ali should have tried to dissuade the kids a little more, be like, no, you don't want this life.
You don't want this burden.
Because once you start fighting, you can't stop.
This is the real weight of Atlas. This is something you will carry your entire life. Once you go down this road, you can never go back. Do you want the red pill or the blue pill? Think carefully before you make this choice.
Is what I'm about to say a profitable bit?
Say it and we'll figure it out. You can always cut it out later.
Do you think as part of the initiation into Ali's Holy Crusade, the children were castrated?
I'm not sure what the fuck that would have to do with Tooth Decay.
All it'll do is distract them.
No. I don't think that happened at all. I think maybe their tonsils got taken out.
Well, I don't see what that has to do with Tooth Decay. I think you're right, they probably weren't.
The kids have to give up sugary foods. At least let them have their downstairs jollies as they grow up.
I just want to point out, you can't eat sugary foods if you don't have hands. So maybe that's not the only thing Muhammad Ali has taken away.
That's true.
Although they can't
Bobby.
They can't pick up a sword if they don't have hands. Speaking of Bobby, do you want to play the game a little bit more?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Okay. How are things going there?
You have $50 of food. Everyone's alive.
Yes.
Except for Bobby, who doesn't have hands. So now
but he's okay.
He's alive and he's fine.
Okay. Once we convince this asshole Muhammad Ali to give us more money, we'll get you some prosthetics. So let's keep going.
You travel. You come to a river. And Muhammad Ali asked you kids if you want to try to cross it, if you want to find a helicopter, or if you want to build a bridge.
It's the summer. We need something to do. Let's build a bridge.
Okay. What do you use to build a bridge? Do you chop down some trees, or do you use your wagons? Do you take your wagons apart?
Well, we need our wagons, so let's chop down some trees.
Okay. You deforest the entire region.
Well, that's going a little bit far.
Your army is 6 million strong, and everyone cuts down one tree.
I have 4 kids and 1 Muhammad Ali. Where's this 6 million strong come from?
Well, you can't take care of 6 million children. This is a microcosm of the Greater Crusade.
Oh, okay. What? This was not a very well defined quest.
So you've created an ecological nightmare for miles. It doesn't really affect you, but the entire area for decades to come is affected by a mini dust bowl.
Oh my god.
But you guys get across.
That's good.
And you make a really, really chunky bridge because you have all this wood left over. It's not wide. It's
just chunky.
You can get like 2 people across at a time. It's just really thick.
This game is fucking with me.
There's a reason why it's not that popular. So you go across the bridge, you're traveling.
I go across the very chunky bridge.
You're traveling. You come across a camp of people with very bad teeth.
Oh, no.
And Muhammad Ali wants to go and try to convert them.
Okay.
Do you want to do this with the champ? Are you down for this?
Or is there any detail about what kind of people they are? Just people with bad teeth?
They're subhuman monsters. The only kind of people who wouldn't brush their teeth. They're like nuclear mutants.
Nuclear mutants?
With long, straggly hair and terrible teeth.
Well, let's send HP over there, see if he can talk to them.
HP gets him to take few free toothbrushes.
Good.
He demonstrates how to use them.
Great.
Oh no, they stabbed him with the toothbrushes.
Oh no!
Now they're eating his flesh.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh.
Do you guys run? Do you guys kill them, or do you keep trying to convert them?
I think we kill them probably because they're killing people with toothbrushes. That's not how you use those.
You wipe out the settlement of 130 people.
Great. Well, they were using toothbrushes in a way unsanctioned by the American Dental Association, so they deserved to die.
True. And in the middle of the pile of bodies, you erect a giant toothbrush monolith.
Of course we do.
And you set it ablaze. As a signal to the rest of Christendom.
Oh my god.
About the holy wave that is coming.
I've never understood the idea of erecting monoliths and then setting the monoliths on fire.
Usually you don't.
Yeah.
But Muhammad Ali wants some pizzazz.
He wants some pizzazz, so he chose something akin to people who hunt people who look like him.
I mean, a toothbrush isn't a cross.
Yeah, but like erecting a thing and burning it, that's generally a them kind of a thing.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to argue with the computer game, Billy.
I'm just saying.
I'm just telling you what happened.
Issues with the path that these programmers put in.
Well, remember the original title of the game. I don't know that it was made with the best conscience.
That is true. I'm starting to wonder if this was if Muhammad Ali even got like final approval on this game.
So you guys travel.
We're traveling.
You're now somewhere in the middle of the United States.
Yeah.
And you see
in the Midwest.
Giant free-range teeth, just running out on the prairies, out on the plains.
As nature meant it to be.
Yep, just big molars with 4 skinny legs, just prancing about. Mm-hmm. Muhammad Ali wants to go ride one. Do you encourage the champ?
I'm not going to encourage the champ. I feel like those are wild and free teeth that haven't been tainted by the touch of man. I feel like we should let them be as nature intended them to be.
Muhammad Ali puts a boxing glove hand on the shoulder of whichever child told him that, and agrees with him, gives him a little kiss on the forehead.
Cute.
And they travel on.
Sweet.
All right, let's get back to the album.
See, that was a happier way to stop off than with poor Bobby's hands turning black.
Well, HP is dead.
Well, HP was a racist anyway,
130,
so fuck him.
130 people are dead.
Yeah, but they were inhuman monsters.
True.
So, you know.
So after this, Richie Havens, who is a sort of a folk rock sort of guy, I guess, played at Woodstock. I think he was the opening act at Woodstock.
Okay.
Is also on this album. And I'm not sure where, but my guess would be this song. Maybe he plays the guitar, maybe he's doing the vocals. Because like you said, it doesn't sound like Ali. Well, it sounds like him, but it doesn't have the same energy.
No, he's a lot lower energy. He sounds like he just woke up or is begging to go back to sleep.
Yeah. And the song is about how amazing and dangerous Muhammad Ali is.
Yeah, this is where the Chuck Norris joke comparison really comes in.
Yeah, he's like, I'll make medicine sick.
Yeah,
I'll eat a railroad spike for breakfast.
That's right, which, is not very good advice if you're promoting tooth health.
Well, that's how strong his teeth are.
Yeah, I get it, but, that's setting unrealistic expectations for kids.
No, every kid, that's what the training is. It's making... It's like, once you get to a high enough level where you can bite through a railroad spike, then you're finally at the plane of the eternal tooth walker.
Kids, if you practice good tooth health, then you too can become members of a freak show. You can eat railroad spikes, put nails through your eyeballs, pick up cinder blocks with your lips, the whole shebang.
He gets a dig in at George Foreman.
Oh, of course, yeah.
There's a very bizarre part where there's an echo effect for no reason.
Oh, that's
just
right.
Just on a couple words like...
That's right. I remember that.
Toothbrush, brush, 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 brush.
That was so bizarre.
And it only happens like twice.
Yeah, but it was so... And I wrote down at that point, this is such a weird experimental thing. The whole thing is, but especially this song.
Yeah.
It's like they're like, this is gonna sound cool. It doesn't.
No.
But like...
And the music, the backing music for the song is sort of like a more psychedelic, little bit groovier type of thing.
Yeah, which is that why you think that
that
guy
might have
is
been
on
Richie
there?
Havens, yeah.
Yeah.
The kids speak in the kids speak in unison constantly. And it's unnerving.
Yes, at the beginning they weren't doing that, but the more time they spend with Muhammad Ali, the more time the writers apparently decided that they should not be devoting to the kids, so they make them all say everything at once together. In fact, originally, when the kids are all talking together, there's a gag that there are two kids who always talk the same time because they're twins. But now all the kids are talking together, and before the kids were all making fun of the twins for that. So I whatever.
It's a language disease like in Pontypool.
It's like a weird mix of Pontypool and Us, just like a whole crowd of people all like walking in a line up towards their heroes of this horror movie, going, "Hello, everyone. We're all talking together. You will become one of us."
I like to think it's because after they join Ali's crusade, they realize that they're part of a whole and not individuals. And spiritually, they're connected now.
They must be like the teeth. The teeth all work together, and so must they. They're all part of one mouth.
I'm sure their hierarchy is like bicuspids,
molars,
canines, molars.
Yeah.
I don't know how that ranking would go.
No, I don't know. What are the two teeth in front there?
I'm not sure. I just know the sharp ones are the canines.
Okay.
And I assume that would be the military wing.
The military wing or the
which
canines?
Which it would all be a military wing because it's a crusade.
Oh, yeah.
But
yeah. No, this is a very violent revolution.
Yes.
Yeah.
The kids pledge their fealty to Ollie's crusade.
Yes.
And Ollie is like, let me take you to meet somebody. Meanwhile, Tooth Decay and Sugar Cuber scheme to...
Oh, man, I forgot to talk about one of my favorite bits.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Okay, so during that song, as it starts off, and Muhammad Ali is saying all those things like, when I do a push-up, I just push the earth back, and all this stuff. After every one of those lines, they recorded the kids doing a sound of astonishment once. Very clearly, they only recorded them doing it once, but they play the same sound clip after everyone. I felt like I was losing my goddamn mind, because after everything it says, I got bit by a snake and the snake died. Whoa! Every time, exactly.
I didn't notice that.
Oh my god!
But now I need to go back and listen to it because I fucking love that. It's like that part in Wild at Heart when Nick Cage is doing his Elvis song.
Exactly like
and
that.
David Lynch has like a crowd roar sound like hooked up on a key to his Casio, and he just like keeps pressing it.
Yeah, but when he did that, it was intentional. Yeah. It was intentionally creating this sort of weird dissonance in your head when you're watching it. This unintentionally did the same thing to me, where like I don't think I've ever seen something achieve Lynch levels of weirdness unintentionally. God, it oh my god, I can't. It's not that it made me mad. I know I sound mad, but it didn't make me mad. I felt untethered from reality for a little bit.
This
was listening to that.
This whole thing is only very tenuously connected to reality.
Oh man,
this whole thing sort of. It feels like something that's on the edge of, like, between two realities, where it's like,
yeah.
It's like,
again, very much like Lynch.
This could belong in our world, or it could belong in this other stranger world.
Yeah, but I recommend that you listen to that song again and listen to the kids going, because they're not even saying wow. There's a like fucking Link from Legend of Zelda.
Tooth Decay and Sugar Cuber scheme to feed children candy.
They're gonna find a corner in the clubhouse. They said, I only need to start in one corner. Natasha, tell fearless leader, I'm going into the corner.
And then Tooth Decay recites a poem about destroying teeth.
When I listened to this, I listened to it right after having kind of a big lunch, and I just drank a Coke, as I'm drinking a Coke now. And they keep talking about giving this really actually kind of solid advice over the course of the record.
Yeah, no, this is legitimate dental advice. It's not
legitimate dental advice. It's not fake. But like this stuff about like don't eat all sugary foods.
Yeah.
Make sure you eat your good stuff before you eat dessert.
Brush your teeth after meals.
Brush your teeth after meals, which I think that's been changed now. I think you're not supposed to brush your teeth after every meal.
I don't know.
Because like it breaks down the enamel faster or something like that. I don't know. But like, you know, just generally good advice for kids. And I had this... I didn't notice it when I started listening to it, but the more I was listening to this, the more I felt like this sort of the gummy, sugary residue you get in your mouth after drinking Coke, and I was like, man, I gotta run home and brush my teeth. Jesus.
It works. It works.
Oh my god. I'm being fuck, what's that word?
Indoctrinated?
I'm being indoctrinated by Muhammad Ali versus Tooth Decay. Holy shit.
See, it works.
It did.
Do you think that when this record came out, and I don't know, what I really wanted to find was how this was distributed. Like, did you have to go into a record store and buy this? Was it, like, given out by dentists? Was it... Because I can't imagine any child being like, man, I love Muhammad Ali. I want to hear what he has to say about Tooth Decay.
Yeah, that's a good question. I think if I were to guess, I would say that this was probably given out as...
Maybe schools?
Or, given out to schools, maybe sold as, like, a special record that you would get on the checkout line at your local grocery store or something like that. A lot of comic book PSAs are distributed that way rather than being on the stands. So I would imagine it would be a lot like a comic book PSA. You just get you'd be going out the door. But I do like the idea of instead of you're a kid going to the dentist and on your way out, instead of getting a sticker or like a little pog or whatever the hell dentists give out these days, colored pencils, instead you get like a whole record of of your favorite boxer, Muhammad Ali, hanging out with Frank Sinatra and Ossie Davis.
Frank Sinatra.
Yeah.
Wow, old Blue Eyes! The chairman of the board!
Young John Mulaney was very impressed.
As the Children's Crusade processes,
yes,
the kids realize that two of them have broken away and stopped to get ice cream.
Yes, because it's a hot day.
It's a hot day.
It's the summer.
And Muhammad Ali is horrified.
Horrified. Oh, we in the previous conversation, by the way, we learned that Tooth Decay and Sugar Cuba have a hammer and chisel that they're planning to use on teeth.
Yep.
I noted that. But anyway.
Muhammad Ali rushes to stop them.
Yeah.
And he berates the shop owner, who is voiced by Frank Sinatra.
That makes sense. I forgot about that character the minute he left the scene.
Gotcha.
So that's probably why.
And the shop owner says, "It's hot, and the kids should be allowed to eat ice cream." And Ali says there's a lot of sugar in ice cream, and that causes tooth decay.
It does.
True.
Yeah.
But,
I thought this was a step too far. I thought, hey, it is a hot day. Kids are only kids once.
Yeah.
Kids' bodies bounce back from shit better than adults. Let them eat cake. Of course, make them eat their vegetables first. They gotta grow up big and strong. But after the food, after lunch, let them eat fucking ice cream, man.
Also, just because you're the fucking heavyweight champion of the world doesn't mean you have dominion over these strange kids.
Exactly.
See, that's why Ali is positioned as the prophet. He's the one who lays down the law. He's the one who establishes. And when the prophet says no ice cream, at least not this ice cream,
and not this ice cream,
not this ice cream.
Because we'll get to that.
I'll take you somewhere else, and we'll get something better.
Yeah, he says we'll get something better, and I was like, Bet.
The shopkeep finally realizes he's talking to Muhammad Ali. Mm-hmm. It's only then that he understands all the talk about tooth decay. So I like to imagine that in this universe, Muhammad Ali is known just as much for his fight against tooth decay as he is for his boxing.
Apparently there was a TV version of this where they had an actual boxer playing tooth decay.
Okay.
So that they could do a live choreographed fight between Muhammad Ali and tooth decay, where Muhammad Ali knocks him out. I don't think this entire story was recreated in live action.
But just that.
But probably just the fight bit. So we need to look that up at some point, see if we can find that, and see if the guy had a green face.
Maybe,
hopefully. And a purple cloak.
And next the children begin to mock the shopkeeper for not getting it before this.
Yeah.
They insult him, then they tell him they're starting a campaign against tooth decay and sugar cuber. Mm-hmm. And here's where you should have realized that this was Frank Sinatra.
Okay.
Because one of the kids refers to the shopkeeper as Old Blue Eyes.
I do remember that, and I was like, this is such a random thing. Why is this here?
Well, what's insane is now this shopkeeper is not just played by Frank Sinatra, it is Frank Sinatra.
Of course, Muhammad Ali runs around fighting tooth decay. Frank Sinatra spends his off time selling ice cream to kids.
I need to get away from it all. I'm going to go sling some cream for the kiddos. But then...
He's the Manchurian ice cream man.
Also, so since this is the real Frank Sinatra, if those kids talked to old Frank the way they did, he would have them fucking killed.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Frank Sinatra would have his goons, who are presumably working as soda jerks, and Don Rickles is just in the corner, like, flipping through magazines.
Oh, of course, yeah, always.
Yeah, he would have these goons, like, kick their teeth out. Yeah, you worried about tooth health? Well, now you don't gotta fucking worry about it, you little punk.
I hear you was talking smack to Old Blue Eyes.
You think I'm stupid? Who's bleeding?
You're stupid. Here, take this silk napkin. Wipe yourself up.
And Frank Sinatra begins to excitedly talk about how I have to tell Sammy. Wait till old Dino hears about this.
All of this stuff is making sense to me now. I just thought this random ice cream shop guy was talking about his stupid friend.
I also can't help but imagine Frank Sinatra picking up the phone, calling Sammy Davis Jr. and being like...
And nerding out about Muhammad Ali.
Sammy, you'll never guess what happened. The champ came into my ice cream shop. What's that, Frank? You have an ice cream shop?
Why do you have an ice cream shop, Frank?
Or Sammy Davis Jr.'s a little Paul Lynde. The champ came and he told me to brush my teeth. Wow, that's a great story, Frank.
I've been telling you that for years, Frank.
And there's a nice bit of acting by Frank Sinatra.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, there is. I really liked it. The man was an actor, too, and he was in quite a few movies.
Yeah, he was in quite a few movies.
I don't think I've ever seen one.
I recommend The Manchurian Candidate. That's probably the best acting I've ever seen from him. And I also recommend Guys and Dolls, even though he's a relatively small part of it.
I did see Guys and Dolls.
He's
a lead.
Yeah, but like Marlon Brando is the lead. He is a lead. Yeah, there's a difference.
He's fucking Nathan Detroit.
Yeah, but still. I'm just saying Marlon Brando has a way bigger part.
Yeah, Guys and Dolls was the first play I ever did, and one of my only musicals.
Well, there you go.
I played Sky Masterson.
Great.
I was not good.
That's okay. It's a fun movie. It's not the best.
It is.
But it's good.
And I've read the book Manchurian Candidate, so I've always wanted to see the movie.
I definitely I've never seen the remake with Liev Schreiber and Denzel Washington. But the original with Frank Sinatra and What's-His-Nuts is great.
What, are you crazy? You want to shoot a senator? Let me slap you around a bit.
There's remarkably less slapping around than you'd expect. But
suck 'em one good, Frank.
And I've seen Ocean's 11.
Oh, I have seen Ocean's 11 as well.
And that movie is just kind of crap.
Yeah, that's a garbage movie.
It's a garbage movie, yeah.
I'm sure they had a lot. I'm sure they had a lot of fun. I'm sure it was like grown-ups back then, where it's like, let's get all our buddies together.
That's basically what my impression of every Rat Pack movie is every Rat Pack movie that I've ever seen, like even like little clips of. Everyone is no-selling every part of it except for Sammy Davis Jr., who is working so damn hard.
He's a consummate professional.
Dean
Martin's not giving it. He's good in Rio Bravo.
Yeah, but Rio Bravo was a chance he got to play not Dean Martin.
True.
When he's hanging out with Frank Sinatra, they're all like, "Hey, look at this. Hey, Dean, you want a drink? Of course I do." They're
you know it.
Yeah, playing up how much of a fucking alcoholic he was.
But the nice bit of acting comes when Frank is apparently already on the phone to somebody whose name I did not recognize, but he says the full name as if like kids are supposed to go like, "Of course."
Right.
But he goes, "Yeah, the champ was in my store, standing on my floor of my store." And I'm surprised Frank Sinatra put forth that much effort into the role.
Sure.
And it worked pretty well. I liked it.
Good for Frank.
And Frank Sinatra would apparently only ever do one take.
That seems about right for Frank.
So, nailed it on the first try, obviously.
Good for Frank. No, yeah, Sinatra was a huge douchebag.
Oh, yeah. Not a good man.
Huge douchebag and definitely tied to the mob.
Most likely.
Yeah.
Ollie shanghais these children. They are press-ganged into his crusade. Mm-hmm. He puts them all on a bus and drives them to a house on top of a small mountain. It's never... Howard Cosell never calls it a farm, but it's clearly a farm.
It's clearly a farm, because there are like a lot of farm animals, and they talk about having a lot of crops.
And here comes my absolute favorite part of the album.
It's pretty great.
I laughed harder than I have in years. Muhammad Ali is looking around the farm.
Oh my god.
And he's waxing poetic about what he sees.
Someone wrote this.
And Ali delivers it. Ali's not like, this. Why the fuck am I saying this?
No.
He
sells it.
I might have to pull the audio and put it here, but
okay.
Ali's looking around and he sees a chicken, he's like,
"Hey, look at the chicken over there. I wonder what he would say if he could talk to us today." And looking at that chicken standing there on the side of the road, it looks like he's hitchhiking or something, huh? I bet his mother loves him too.
It is the three most insane lines of dialogue.
Again, it does sound like something that would be in Wild at Heart. It sounds like something someone in the fire circle would say.
Sort of, or I can see Nicolas Cage like, that's how we see he's deep, or like how his quirkiness is like.
Right, they're driving by and they see a chicken. Like,
what that chicken's thinking? I bet that chicken mama loves it.
Oh, you always say the darndest, you always say the most sweetest things.
Sailor, who else would think of that?
That's how I express my individuality along with my snakeskin jacket.
But yeah, just because I'm picturing Ali standing in a farmyard.
Right, yeah.
Silver shorts like he has on the cover.
Of course.
Boxing gloves. A bunch of children about like 7 to 10.
Giant toothbrush.
A giant toothbrush. And he's just standing there looking around.
Just looking.
Like wondering what chickens would say if they could talk.
And just familial bonds of poultry.
Yeah, just speculating about a hen's love for her chick. Which, I don't know a lot about birds, but I don't understand them to be super loving parents.
Not in the same way humans are, anyway. I mean, golly gee willikers, what the hell?
We're told that a black man of some years is on the porch of the house. He's tall like an oak tree. His white hair is like the blinding snow tundra.
I want Howard Cosell to do the audiobook for Uncle Tom's Cabin.
Okay. One, Howard Cosell is dead.
Yeah, I know.
Two, why?
Because I just want to hear Howard Cosell loudly announcing that how many black people there are in any given scene.
Well, this is the only time where color is mentioned.
Yeah, I know.
It seems
they really want to make this guy out to be this old wise Uncle Remus type. He's just out there. He's old as a tree, and he knows a thing or two about a thing or two.
This man is Brother St. John.
Yes,
voiced by Ossie Davis.
I thought so.
For
A very Ossie Davis type part.
Yes. And Ossie Davis's beautiful, mellow voice is
Oh, yeah.
perfect.
I'm always happy to hear from Ossie Davis.
For no reason, because the kids are indistinguishable and have no personalities.
No.
There is a roll call where all the kids in the gang introduce themselves to Brother St. John. They never did this for Ollie.
I don't think they actually get to introduce themselves. I think... Doesn't Ollie just name them?
I can't recall.
I think Ollie names each of them, which is funny.
Oh, yeah,
again,
Ollie does. I wrote it down.
They never introduce themselves to Ollie, but they don't get to say hi or anything. Ollie just says, "These are the kids," and he names them off.
Porky and Charles and Danube. God told Ollie the children's names.
Of course, yeah. He's the prophet.
That's part of how he got them to follow him. He's like,
this is one of the miracles when Muhammad Ali is inevitably canonized.
Yes.
This is one of the miracles that will be cited. And if this record is interested in pumping anyone other than Ali up, it's Farmer John. It's Farmer St. John.
Brother St. John.
Brother St. John. They think that Brother St. John is the coolest person in the world.
They're marveling at his fruit trees, at his organic garden. Mm-hmm. And here's something that's important to point out.
Yeah.
Ossie Davis says vegetables. Vegetables. And Brother St. John, we're going to learn, is sort of like a black sage hippie.
He's a magical black man.
Sort of. Except he loves organic stuff and the hippy-dippy lifestyle.
Yes, he loves the farming, self-sufficient lifestyle.
And dental hygiene.
Those
are his two things.
Yes.
Brother St. John tells children how bad candy and such things are. Brother St. John makes all his own food, including ice cream.
Yes, he makes organic homemade ice cream.
Yes. He's all about the natural lifestyle and oral health.
Probably makes his own bricks.
Yep. Tooth Decay and Sugar Cuber continue to scheme and bring in a third party, Willie Plack.
Who I could not tell the difference between Willie Plack and Sugar Cuber.
I could. Willie Plack seemed a little bit more street, a little bit more jive. And again, at one point I thought Sugar Cuber might be British. Just an indecipherable sound.
I don't know. It's very confusing.
Their plan, and this is fucking ingenious, they're going to put up around town posters of cakes and candy.
Right.
You know how you just like see pictures of cake downtown?
Yeah. Or we're in the middle of PA. I see signs for sex shops all over the fucking place. And immediately I'm like, man, I gotta buy a dildo.
I know of the one sex shop.
In this town. If you drive around the state enough, they're everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see nothing wrong with that.
Sure. I'm just saying I immediately see that sign and immediately I have to stick a dildo in my ass.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just saying appreciate the brick and mortar sex shops because someday they'll all be gone.
Well, and Adam and Eve will be the new Amazon.
It's something unpredictable that in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life.
Dildos.
Yep. Their other plan is just to leave cakes and candy around the clubhouse.
Just random cakes and candy all over the place.
They're like reverse mice. They put food in your nooks and crannies. Brother St. John mobilizes the children to evangelize about oral health, including handing out literature to people. He's literally going, you need to get out there and spread the word.
But he's saying, kids, what can we do to talk to people about tooth decay? And the kids are like, they basically come up with the same plan that Tooth Decay came up with, which is to put literature everywhere, to put posters up, to leave pamphlets in places, give out,
to harass people on the streets.
Basically, this is religious indoctrination. It's the same things like they're going to start handing out fake dollar bills with Bible verses written on them, except instead it's passages from the American Dental Association's website to people in restaurants instead of tips.
All right, do you want to go back to the game? Do you want to play a few more rounds of when last we left off? Had you guys crossed the river, or had you obliterated the town of subhumans?
We did both.
Okay, I just couldn't remember what came last.
What the last thing that happened was we were out looking over a prairie where a bunch of teeth were running free.
That's right.
And we had told Mike Tyson, "Don't bother."
Muhammad Ali.
I'm sorry. Why did I say that? Muhammad Ali. We told Muhammad Ali, "Don't bother them."
Okay. So you guys travel, and you travel,
Yeah.
and you travel. You're out of food,
Oh, shit.
because you're out of money.
Yeah.
Because Muhammad Ali gave all your money to the teeth.
Wait, he left our money to the wild teeth?
He threw it at him.
The teeth don't know how to use money.
I mean, it's a donation.
Okay, fine.
So you're out of food. You're in the middle of nowhere. Mm-hmm. What do? Do you want to eat somebody? Do you want to dig in the ground for tubers? Do you want to eat the horses?
I guess let's dig in the ground and see if we can find anything down there.
No. What kind of plan is that? Just dig and hope you strike food?
It's an option in the menu.
So
let's do it.
that doesn't mean it's right. You guys spend 3 weeks digging a pit straight down, and you don't hit anything.
We're in the middle of a desert.
You're just in the middle of nowhere.
Okay. Can we use this pit to catch an animal and eat that?
I don't think an animal is going to run into like a gigantic hole in the ground. I think they're going to.
We put leaves and shit over it.
You need to get out of this pit first. It's like 4 miles down.
I keep forgetting how much manpower we have.
Yeah, digging constantly for 3 weeks, 24 hours a day, different shifts. Muhammad Ali does not help dig. He just oversees and rants about tooth oral hygiene.
Of course he fucking doesn't.
So how do you get out of this pit? Do you sacrifice your fellow crusaders and build a human ladder to get out? Do you pray to the tooth gods?
I guess we have to pray to the tooth gods.
Or do you fill the hole with water?
Wait, we don't have food, but we have water?
According to the game, you have a fire hose.
I have a fire hose!
That you've just been dragging along with you that's connected to
I wish the game would tell me these things.
to a hydrant back in Columbus.
It's still connected to a hydrant in
Yeah.
Columbus. Holy shit. Wow. Well, first let's pray to the tooth gods, see what they have to say.
The tooth gods commune with Muhammad Ali,
Okay.
and he tells you guys...
Is Muhammad Ali in the pit with us?
No, he was overseeing.
Okay. I have to apologize to our listeners for the hiccups that are going to be pretty difficult to edit around here.
I mean, I'll do my best.
Yeah.
The tooth gods tell Muhammad Ali that if he sacrifices a fatted calf, Earth will launch all of the crusaders out of the pit.
If we had a fatted calf, we wouldn't need food.
Well, Muhammad Ali is gone for about another 3 weeks,
Oh, good.
and he comes back.
How many of us are dead at this point?
I mean, a couple thousand.
Oh, good.
So you're a little bit further up the hole. Because the dead weight just naturally shifts to the bottom.
Right, yeah. We're gradually filling up this mass grave. Jesus Christ.
How many strong did I say the army was? 6 million?
I think you said 6 million.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Ali returns from the wilderness. He has a big long beard, and he's lost a lot of mass. His shorts are now held up with a switch of willow bark, and he sacrifices the fatted calf. All of the children crusaders, the earth, it's like someone punches the earth. You're launched up into the air, and about 1 million of you die as your bodies rain down and pelt the earth. For miles and miles as you travel away from the hole, the landscape is studded with the smashed bodies of children.
Oh my god.
Like cigarette butts stubbed out.
This is like a Clive Barker story.
I mean, a little bit. I don't know who wrote it. So let's stop there.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, and also one of your guys died. Stan died.
Stan died? That's
Yeah.
okay. He was a sexist prick.
He was impaled on a tree.
And he stole work from his other artists.
He did. So you have Bobby, you have No Hands Bobby.
Yeah.
And who was the other one? Joel?
I don't remember.
Let's say Joel.
Let's say Joel, yeah.
So here's the weird thing about Brother St. John.
One thing, yeah.
Brother St. John is super hippy dippy. He's all like,
Yes.
my garden's all organic. I make everything myself. I control what goes in to what I make. You know what's really great? Fluoride.
Oh, yeah.
He's really big on fluoride.
Right.
It's like, you need to talk to your local municipality or whatever and get a fluoridization program going.
Oh, you're getting the fluoride in the water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's such a weird mashup.
That is super weird, because it's usually not something that nature people like. They like fresh, clear, clean water. That's why we have so many water purifiers and shit everywhere, to get the fluoride out of the water. Because, it's making the frogs gay.
There've long been fluoride conspiracies. Fluoride's a naturally occurring thing.
Sure.
It's just found in nature.
Right, yeah. I thought it was like a chemical that we'd come up with.
I thought so too for the longest time, but I read the Skeptoid book that talks about a lot of popular conspiracies, and they talk about how it's just this naturally occurring thing, and sort of like lithium.
Oh.
There was just this, like a town where it's like, there are high traces of fluoride in the water, and they have better dental health than anywhere else in the state, so maybe it's the fluoride that's doing this, and then...
Sure.
And there's actually this weird balance you need to get with fluoride, because too much will turn your teeth yellow, and like sort of make this... Like, it also gives them like a hard crust, I think, but it sort of makes... Like, your teeth still don't get cavities, but they get discolored. It turns out that Brother St. John used to be a dentist.
That's right, yeah. He's a secret retired dentist.
Yes. Come hippy-dippy sage.
And he's the guy who radicalized Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, he's the one who gave him the giant toothbrush to keep in his back pocket, so he always remembers his mission.
And apparently, as we learn later, he also gave him a giant roll of dental floss.
I don't recall that.
That comes up later, as if Muhammad Ali at some point later on in the record just mentions he also has a giant thing of dental floss, as if that was part of the conversation the whole time.
Gotcha.
No, it just comes up later.
Brother St. John bangs on about oral health for a while.
Yes.
And then he gives the children their own toothbrush necklaces as symbols of their holy quest.
Toothbrush and necklaces.
Yes.
Yeah. Which makes sense, because the way that Mr. Tooth Decay talks about toothbrushes, particularly the gigantic one, is very similar to the way the vampires
talk about crosses.
So, yeah, putting the toothbrush necklace for your mother's sake. Yeah.
So this is... It's just crazy, the lengths that... Like, these children are seriously indoctrinated into a child army where their mission is to destroy Tooth Decay in this never-ending forever war of good versus evil.
Literally, yeah. No, that's exactly what this is. Which is not obviously the way it's supposed to come across.
No.
But that is the way that we're choosing to interpret it.
But remember, Muhammad Ali has press-ganged these children. He has abducted them. He has taken them away from their parents on this bus to this remote farmhouse where the cult leader now gives them their own identifying symbols. And
right, yeah. Their names are now dead to them.
Yes. They are now the gang.
They are now the gang. They're Muhammad Ali's gang. Ali and his gang.
And it's sort of like the legends of the Hashishan assassins, where it's like, Brother St. John lives in this paradise, this great garden, and the children marvel at it.
Up on the hill.
In the mountain. So the children marvel at this paradise that they'll get to enjoy if they can be good soldiers in the name of oral health.
Exactly.
We get a reprise of the historical theme.
That's right.
Which prompted me to wonder if Ali thinks Tooth Decay and company are royalist agents. Like, maybe he's still fighting the Revolutionary War. Maybe he's just like...
I mean, Mr. Tooth Decay is Eastern European, as we mentioned.
Maybe he's a Hessian.
Maybe. We don't know. We don't know how far back this goes.
Maybe Mr. Tooth Decay shares the same origin story as the Headless Horseman in Johnny Depp's Sleepy Hollow. The kids arrive at the clubhouse, and two of them immediately within seconds, succumb to sin and eat some of the trap sweets that Mr. Tooth Decay and Sugar Cuber have laid out.
They just go inside the clubhouse, just see a sugar cake. They call it a sugar cake. They see a sugar cake sitting on the table, and just immediately they shove that shit right into their pie hole.
Yes. As much as this was a trap by Mr. Tooth Decay and Sugar Cuber,
this is really on the kids.
I also believe this was a test by the Lord to sort of separate the weak ones out.
The Lord bicuspid.
Yes. Just separate the weak ones out, because these are the ones that are immediately like, oh, this cake wasn't here before, but now it is. I'm stupid, and I'm weak of the flesh.
Exactly.
So we're going to weed you out right here.
Yeah. And so...
And one of the kids immediately gets a cavity. Within
just
seconds.
Just immediately.
Which is another reason why I think this is divine punishment.
Okay, so at this point, there starts to be this weird thing where... Here's what I think happened. This was a bit of a ramshackle operation. They got Muhammad Ali in there for as many lines as they could get him in there, and he eventually got tired. Some of the recordings are different times. And these kids, they got in off the street or something, or maybe they were some of the producers' kids or something. They got them in there, they said their lines. At a certain point, they realized they had missed some lines from the kids.
Okay.
The kids had a couple more lines they needed to say just to set up Muhammad Ali's dialogue. And so, rather than finding these kids again and getting them back in, because, it's not like they all sound the same.
Yeah.
They instead got some poor woman in the studio to do a high-pitched voice and pretend that was one of the kids.
Well, it fooled me.
But yeah, because if you listen to this, there are a couple of lines where it'll be a kid talking, and then suddenly it'll be clearly an adult woman going, "But Muhammad Ali, what's that?" In exactly that voice.
I just thought it was a shitty 70s child. Like, I was sort of just like, yeah, that's what children sound like in the 70s.
No, and it happens at least twice, maybe more, I'm not sure. But man, was it distracting to me.
It was seamless to me.
And then there's another point in this very same scene where Mike Tyson says something.
Muhammad Ali.
Fuck, what's wrong with me? Muhammad Ali says something, and then Muhammad Ali says immediately afterwards, "Good point," to Muhammad Ali, and then they continue on.
I don't remember that either.
Yeah.
But Ali...
I wish I'd written down the exact line.
Ali hangs a toothbrush near the door like lamb's blood during the 10th plague.
Yes,
It will ward against the danger of tooth decay.
And that is where he says, "Oh, go back to the truck, get my dental floss right next to the toothbrush. Show them we mean business."
Gotcha. And Tooth Decay and Company are a bunch of bitches.
Mm-hmm.
They are immediately defeated by Ali and the kids.
Well, we started the story with them running for their lives from Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
There was no way this was going to end with them on top.
True.
Mm-hmm.
What if it did?
Oh my God!
What if this was ended with?
What if this was an epic tragedy like Paul Bunyan or John Henry?
What if Mr. Tooth Decay shot Muhammad Ali execution style in the back of the head in front of the children and was like, "This is your prophet."
Well, that would be the last step in turning them into a new religion. Is making a martyr out of the prophet.
But presumably, with the champion defeated, then Tooth Decay would run rampant.
I would imagine so.
It would just a plague of rotting teeth across the world until the spirit of the champion can be reborn, much like the Avatar. The kids talk about their fallen comrade, who is at the dentist where his spiritual weakness will be examined. One of the girls in the gang is British.
That's right. She
Yeah.
is. That came out of nowhere.
And I was just waiting for Muhammad Ali to, put his fist through her face. 'Cause he's like, "Motherfucker, I'm still fighting this war."
Who knocked the teeth out of the British kid? Ali.
Howard Cosell recites a poem about toothaches.
Yes, he does.
And how if you have one, you should start screaming Muhammad Ali's name.
How many kids do you think were in the dentist getting drilled and they're just like, "Ali!" And the dentist was like, "What the fuck is going on?"
But here's the thing. Muhammad Ali could hear them, and he would get on a plane and fly to them. But with travel time, he'd show up a couple days late, and he'd show up to the dentist's office, and he'd just cold cock the dentist. Now the first narrative sort of ends. And now
rather abruptly.
Yes, and now we switch over to Howard Cosell calling a boxing match between Muhammad Ali and Tooth Decay. And Tooth Decay is portrayed as being Muhammad Ali's toughest opponent ever.
Yeah, they even mentioned the George Foreman fight and the who was the other guy?
Joe Frazier.
Joe Frazier. They mentioned Joe Frazier as well as he's tougher than either of those opponents, which is a big character shift. Even Tooth Decay himself is bragging to Sugar Cuba Sugar Cuber, about how tough he is,
Yeah.
and how he's going to beat Muhammad Ali. And yet, throughout this entire thing, as we said, Tooth Decay's been a huge bitch. Has been a huge bitch.
Let me tell you an important part of
Okay.
fascism and propaganda.
Okay.
You need to portray your enemy as both weak and a threat.
That is true, yes.
You need to vilify them by going like, they're so strong, they're so dangerous, you need our protection. We need to get rid of these people. But you also need to say, they're weak, they're stupid, they're no good.
Right.
Like, don't even worry about them because it's so trivial.
Right. So that's why the media is faking the polls, but also we're winning in the polls.
Yeah. I think that's the American Dental Association's holy cult is doing with Tooth Decay, where it's like, you can defeat them easily if you join together on our crusade and band together to fight these people.
Yes. But he's also the biggest threat.
Even the champ is
Yeah.
going to have a hard time with this.
Well, that's why he started by telling him this is not just a summer job. This is the eternal struggle.
And Tooth Decay does knock Muhammad Ali down.
He does. He gets the first punch in.
Yep. Muhammad Ali gets up and the pair trade blows in an incredibly boring fight. Someone says a bunch of absolutely incomprehensible lines over a loudspeaker.
Oh, yeah. This is where I just completely lost the plot.
But I guess Muhammad Ali won.
I guess. I wrote, oh, hey, Muhammad won. I'm so surprised.
And the record ends with Howard Cosell reciting a poem.
Howard Cosell claims that this is the greatest story ever told.
Yep.
So move over, Jesus.
And the poem is about how Muhammad Ali punched a bunch of pies and milkshakes.
That's right. That's right. He punched all the sugary treats away.
Muhammad Ali opened the double doors of a Perkins. And just went to fucking town on the pie case.
He went to the governor's restaurant and says, "Eat dessert first." "I don't think so, motherfucker," and just tore the place up.
And that's the end. That's the end of the adventures of Ali and his gang versus Mr. Tooth Decay.
They play the theme song one last time as they talk about thank the American Dental Association. They talk about the people that were involved in making it. They play the theme song one last time, and that's it. And thus ends possibly the greatest 36 minutes of my life.
It was pretty great. It's pretty. And like I said, I don't know what will go on with the Bubba Hotep episode, but I found this because I was looking up Ossie Davis.
Yeah.
And as soon as I saw that Ossie Davis and Frank Sinatra
right.
did a project with Muhammad Ali about oral hygiene,
yeah.
I was like, I need to fucking listen to this now. I stopped Bubba Hotep and listened to this whole thing and took notes.
It takes a lot to take you out of Bubba Hotep.
Yeah.
But this did it.
But this was fucking amazing. Let's wrap up the computer game.
Yeah.
So you're almost to San Francisco.
Of course.
1,000,000 some of your comrades are dead. You've made it out of the forest of mangled child corpses.
Finally. Did we ever get anything to eat?
No.
No, good. Okay.
Just the fat calf, which was sacrificed.
Okay.
So you're not doing great.
Sure.
It's sort of a death march at this point.
Sure.
Muhammad Ali has gone insane.
I think he started pretty much insane.
He refuses
$300 on this trip.
He refuses to stop at any settlement.
Of course.
Until you reach a hill overlooking Salt Lake City, Utah. Muhammad Ali leaves and he comes back and he tells the children that the people of Salt Lake City brush their teeth, but they will not accept Brother St. John's guidelines for brushing your teeth and how to live your life.
Right.
So the whole city must be raised.
Oh my God.
Do you encourage this? Do you try to stop him? Or do you try to take out the champ?
I think at this point I'm going to try and take out the champ.
Okay. Who do you want to send in a boxing match against Muhammad Ali? No Hands Bobby or Joel?
I think probably Joel.
Okay.
Because he has hands.
Okay. So, Joel, who's 9 years old, squares off against Muhammad Ali.
Uh-huh.
Muhammad Ali throws a hook. Do you dodge? Do you counterattack? or do you duck?
I dodge, I think.
Okay, good. You dodged.
Okay, good.
Now, do you counterattack, or do you keep juking around?
Counterattack, I think.
Joel hits Muhammad Ali and breaks his hand.
Oh no! Poor Joel!
Now Muhammad Ali is rearing back for another blow.
Oh god.
Do you counterattack while he's open with your other hand?
Mm-hmm.
Do you dodge or do you duck?
Can I aim for his testicles?
I mean, let me see if I can hack the game. Yeah, you can do that.
Oh great, let's punch him in the dick.
Muhammad Ali castrated himself, full castration.
We said that wasn't part of it.
He said it wasn't part of it for the children.
Well, we're still punching him in a wound. That's
It's
gotta
healed.
hurt.
It's healed.
Well, oh come on! It's still gotta hurt.
No.
No. Oh fuck.
And Muhammad Ali punches downward on the top of Joel's head and caves it in like a pumpkin.
That's graphic.
Now, does Bobby try to fight Muhammad Ali? Does he join in the raid, or does he leave?
Can I get my surviving 5 million to come and kill Muhammad?
They are all for it.
They're all for Muhammad Ali?
They're all for Muhammad Ali.
Oh.
Unless you win, unless you can take him down, then they'll follow you. They're fair weather followers.
Jeez. Okay. Well, I guess Bobby doesn't have any hands, so there's nothing he can really do against Muhammad Ali. I guess we have to go on the raid and take out the Mormons,
All
I
right.
guess.
Everybody in Salt Lake City is dead by the dawn of the next morning. The city is on fire.
Oh, God.
Muhammad Ali has the children salt the ground with fluoride.
I'm sorry to my Mormon aunts that I killed everyone. I'm sorry.
And, but you guys do raid the city for food.
Oh, good.
So now you have food.
Well, you know what? Ends totally justify the means here.
Muhammad Ali continues the march towards San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys are outside the Golden Gate Bridge. Muhammad Ali turns to Bobby and he says, "Bobby, my closest disciple, the rock upon which my teeth are built, the gums of my teeth."
The gums on which my teeth are built.
Exactly.
Wow.
How should we handle this? Should we try to talk? Should we attack at night? Or should we attack during the day like honorable soldiers?
I think we should try and talk.
Okay. Muhammad Ali sends Bobby to talk to Mr. Tooth Decay to have a palaver, to parlay.
Okay.
Mr. Tooth Decay comes out and he's like, "Look at those pretty gems in your mouth. I want to corrupt them." And he's twirling his cape. He doesn't stop moving.
Oh my god.
What do you say to Mr. Tooth Decay to try to...
Are there dialogue options or do I have to type it in?
You can say... You have to type it in.
Oh, okay. Okay. Hey, Mr. Tooth Decay. I would like to...
You take too long and Mr. Tooth Decay shouts, "Give me them teeth!" and rips all your teeth out of your mouth.
Jesus!
Or out of Bobby's mouth.
Jesus Christ!
Do you keep trying to talk?
No, I think we attack now. That's an
Okay.
act of war.
When Bobby returns to Muhammad Ali, Ali sees that he has no teeth
Yes.
and is thus a recreant in the eyes of the great teeth, the great mouth.
Yeah.
Since he has no teeth, he might as well be with the enemy. And Muhammad Ali smites the heathen Bobby as a sacrifice to the great teeth on the eve of battle. And you lose the game because none of your people made it to the glorious victor circle.
Oh well.
Yeah.
This is a pretty fucked up game that you brought here.
I mean, there's a reason why Oregon Trail was more popular. So I made it onto more machines.
I'm surprised that this is not more popular in retro gaming circles though, because this is some pretty fucked up shit.
Yeah, it's messed up.
It is.
But I guess I'll just throw this very rare copy into the trash because you don't like it.
No. We should keep that.
Too late.
That shit.
It's too late. It's in the trash,
Oh,
and you
no!
can't take trash out of the trash can.
I can't. That's a rule.
Once it's in there, it becomes trash.
It does. It's the
Just
lost
like-
forever. It's the lost forever hole.
Just like once you stick something in your gums, it becomes a tooth.
Right.
No matter
yeah.
what you stick in there.
That's why I've lost several teeth, but I've just replaced them with broken shards of glass.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it looks good.
Thank you. Very reflective.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
We have a Facebook page now.
We do.
If you could find that and like it. We have an Instagram, if you could follow us on there.
Absolutely.
We have a YouTube page.
We do.
Where we upload new episodes and are slowly uploading old episodes.
We also occasionally, very occasionally, upload little extra bits, like we had a blooper.
We had an outtake
for
that
the Antrim.
amused me so much that I had to share it with people.
Yeah.
And I'll try to do that. I'll try to put up little previews. But if you could join or follow those groups, that would be fantastic. We would love it. You could also reach us through an email that I never check, wivesofweird@gmail.com. If you have an idea for a movie, if you have...
Please do. We'd love to hear from people. We love hearing from people. I get Facebook messages every once in a while from people who watch this show.
Fantastic.
Or listen to the show, and I always appreciate it.
Fantastic.
Thanks, everybody, for listening, and have a good week.
Yep.